My name is Art. I love Hahnemühle paper. I've been using them since 2005 when I got my first Epson R2400 printer. So it's been over like 2 decades now since I've used their product. The one that I liked back then was Photorack Satin, but they have actually grown their line out quite a bit. William Turner, I still have 17 by 22 sheets, like Packs Up 100 in my stock. And there's like other ones as well. So I've been using a variety of them. There are some newer ones that they have released that are bamboo fiber and everything. That's the one I'm looking forward to trying out. So the thing is this, majority of the printer OEM papers are going to be, there's some really good ones, don't get me wrong, but many of them are going to be just a regular glossy, matte like pearl and so forth, or satin. And when you want variety, the manufacturer is only going to provide so many. And that's what really got me into Hahnemühle. And their paper is unique. It's different from what the manufacturer has to offer. It's also one of the older paper mills and is very different than other paper companies as well. And also they're pretty much here at trade shows and things like this, coming out to see people. I think it's a good way to reach out to your customer. I think print's important. And I think the only way you're gonna get your picture to last as a legacy is to print it out. Whether it's in a small coffee book table, whether it's in an individual sheet that you hang on the wall, or it's similar to what they're showing here, you need to print it out. Everything goes on to digital, and I'm guilty of that too. I mean, there's time where I go on vacation and my picture is just gonna die with me on my hard drive, right? And that's one of those things that I think is good. And even if you're not going to print that much, at least if you try every now and then to print, it brings the whole photography experience 360. Because in my role as BenQ Global Ambassador, and I talk about color management with Calibrite and everything else too, I'm also their ambassador. The thing is that the people suffer with the most is display luminosity. They don't know where to set their display to. They have no clue how to do that. And the problem is that, well, I tell people, set it to the print standard, right? Whether you print or not, use the print standard because that's going to be the best thing that you can do so that you can guarantee whatever you're editing, however you're editing, is going to look great. I think paper quality has always been great. I mean, if they weren't, I wouldn't be using them for 2 decades. There are other paper manufacturers. There are the OEM, the printer, manufacturers who make papers as well. So we all have options. I like the uniqueness of their paper, their texture, their surfaces, the lineup that they have offering, and they keep expanding it. They're not just being static, they're not just there saying, hey, this is what we got. We have reached the pinnacle and we're done. They're continuing to innovate. So that's the first thing. Regarding customer service, I come from a very different standpoint. So I buy papers from local suppliers, from different camera stores and so forth, but I also happen to know many of the rep here. For example, I'm going to use Veronica, like she's one of my rep in a local area, but I also work as an ambassador for another color management brand, or 2 more actually. So my relationship with the paper mill, the company, is going to be a little bit different than a normal consumer would be.
Hello, I'm Richard Sturdevant, and I'm an artist. I've been an artist for 35 years, a traditional artist, and I'm also a photographer. I've been a photographer for the last 25 years, and I kind of mix the mediums together. I bring the art world and the photography world together and actually create original embellished prints on the Hahnemühle paper, and I just love their products. Well, first, I love Hahnemühle paper. I mean, it's just fantastic paper, and but I was a traditional artist, and so to make extra money, I started retouching photos for photographers back when I was a traditional artist. And so I used the retouch lacquer and used the color pencils, the oils and all that. And so when I went into photography, I studied my photography craft for years, but then I started incorporating my art. And for years I was doing it and selling it to my clients and creating, what I do is I create originals of art, because in our photography industry, we don't have originals, and we really need them. And if we do an original, like a mixed media, we embellish over the top of it. We can paint with oils, we can paint with color pencils. Any medium you want, as long as you can seal the surface. And the Hahnemühle papers, really, with the texture they have, they lend themselves to this very easily. I mean, it's just like butter on there when you work with the color pencils. It glides, it blends, and the texture you can see, but you can still do all your blends and everything. And then the best paper I love is the Photo Rag Metallic. I just love it. And I'm able actually to embellish that as well with metallic color pencils. And so, but I just started doing that, and I started combining it all. And then in 2006, Rangefinder contacted me because I was combining my art with my photography, and I was on the cover. They did an article on me, and then the rest is history. I just tore it up from there and just started doing my thing. And I people call me crazy, like creative crazy, but creative crazy moves mountains and it pushes the industry forward. And that's what we're trying to do with the embellishing, so that people can get back to touching a print and feeling the texture and having something substantial in their hands, something physical. Not that we have plenty of digital. We're okay with digital stuff now, but we need to get back to the texture and to the physical part of the art that we do. And so I'm really excited about it, and I'm excited to be here in the trade show, and people are just, when people touch that, they get up there on that canvas and they touch it over here, something magical happens. Electricity goes through their hands, and when that happens, they're hooked. And they're going to my website, they're getting a PDF so they can go do this, they're getting their color pencils. Some of them, Eddie Tapp come by, a legend in this industry, Cheryl Walsh come by, and they are going home and getting their kids Crayolas and starting to paint just to play with it and see, So it's really exciting, and I just want to keep pushing it forward so we can just put good people out there producing beautiful art. So, well, the most important thing to printing is color profiling. You have to have the right color profile for your paper. You have to have your monitor calibrated. You have to have everything on spec. I mean, so that it's good to go, and you know that you get a consistent print each time. To do that, you have to learn how to use your printer. Whether you use whatever printer you use, you need to learn that backwards and forwards. And I've been printing for years, but during COVID, I had time, and I went back and trained myself to be a master printer now. And I don't know if I'm there, but I'm pretty close. But it's exciting, and I love printing, and I print a lot of images for some of the competitors in the icon competition as well. And so I must be doing something right if they're coming to me, but it's really just joyful to see that and see them, use these different papers, because they're using, another paper I love is the museum etching, and the texture on it is absolutely beautiful. And then my other favorite is the torsion. I hope I'm saying that right, but it's got a texture that's just unrivaled to anybody else, and it's got a real nice feel to it. So if you ever have a chance, get a sample pack and try those papers. And you can buy a sample pack for any of their vendors or people who distribute their products, and then go home and try it and just play with it. And I'm going to be coming out with a PDF for Hahnemühle to put on their website that will tell about their papers that you can put, what you can use color pencils on, what you can use oils on, and so on. So I'm going to try to do as much as I can to help people get back to the traditional art and digital, mixing it together. So.
My name is Jabari Fletcher. I'm a photographer, a camera operator, and I am a fan of Hahnemühle paper. There's not a concern. There's going to be an influx of more people since we're moving. To me, everything is kind of a wave, right? Everything from the old days are now nostalgia, starting to come back into popularity. So we've moved from analog to digital. Now we're starting to see a hybrid of more digital and analog kind of combination come into play. For me, I've always enjoyed printing well before digital. I still enjoy printing even during the time that digital has taken over analog. But I think a lot of more younger generation of photographers and artists are looking to really move away from the screen and move more into a physical, tangible good. My takeaway is that it's like being a scientist, a mad scientist, right? Look at Frankenstein. He didn't come to life until the scientists got every little detail right. And so when you bring that element over into the world of photography, you have to have the right camera. First, your setting got to be right so that what you see becomes a snapshot inside of the camera. Secondly, if you have to retouch and post, you have to make sure that your screen is calibrated. Thirdly, what paper or medium are you going to print on? Now, making sure that your computer or whatever device you're printing from can read and speak to the printer to say, hey, we're printing on this paper. This is the ICC profile that we have to use for this paper. With that communication, that's very important because your image may look supreme and just absolutely flawless on the computer, on the screen, but once you hit the print button, it comes out absolutely garbage. But with everything, all those ingredients being right on par and parallel with one another, it makes for a one-of-a-kind piece that can be replicated, or it can be a one-off or artist print, AP print, that is absolutely just, it's phenomenal. It's amazing. Oh man, you threw me on the spot. I like it all, I'm not gonna lie. I different paper for different things. The new photo Fine Art Barita Smooth, that's the newest one that was released, right?
Yes, right.
No?
The matte Barita.
The matte Barita. I really love that. I'm starting to appreciate that one because it's a combination between gloss and flat, right? I really enjoyed that. I enjoy the museum etching. I also enjoy the metallic because it pops so much, the colors are vibrant, and it feels like you can step back in time and relive whatever that image is saying.
My name is Jan Wölfle, I'm the CEO of Hahnemühle, and I'm happy to be here at WPPI Vegas. Hahnemühle headquarters in Germany, in the middle of Germany, near Frankfurt, between Frankfurt and Hanover. And we are there since 440 years. 1584, we got founded, and still at the same place. This year, WPPI was quite busy and quite good, I think. There was a lot of events and a lot of educational sessions around the venue, the show itself, and therefore lots of people were here, and we were happy that we also selected to be here. Everything is possible though, everything is possible. We are trying to, of course, innovate, we are trying to produce and drive the products across the globe. We are an international company, we have on every place on the continent and also every place on earth a subsidiary and some inventory positions, and so we're trying to become really internationally well-known brand, photography brand, I should say. Not only a paper company, because everything related to photography also we are trying to push and trying to understand, trying to innovate with. What you should know about Hahnemühle is we are the paper company who invented digital fine art 25 years ago. So for art reproduction and high quality photography, we are the go-to brand with the longest history of experience and biggest innovations and also intellectual property we have on the paper, on coding, on how it works together with inkjet systems and how to turn really images into art. That's a great question, and we actually are addressing that with an app we introduced. We have an app, a Hahnemühle app you can go into, and you have a lot of tutorials on the app, and you also can basically see on how many certified studios we have in every country. So you can just browse and go to wherever you are in what state in America and see how many certified studios are working with us and are the experts on fine art and photography. So there's a difference between everyday photo and fine art. So the beginners typically choose less expensive photo paper, which has not such a long longevity, just 30 years. And really the pros go for the fine art packages because that has a longer longevity, up to 200 years, and also a lot wider color gamuts and black and white densities. So we have a longevity up to 200 years under defined lighting conditions, and that has to do with the fact that there's no chemicals inside the paper. So it's everything pure nature, and there's no chemical that is inhibiting and damaging basically the system. The ink system, the paper, all needs to play in concert, and you don't want to have any pollutants inside, and so that's why it makes it special and different. Well, the other thing which the folks out from the photography scene might not know is that we also have traditional fine art paper, traditional papers, uncoated, and where artists paint on it with brushes and watercolor paint, and so we are basically taking the best of both worlds, analog into digital, and also have another life science division. We are also producing, for example, COVID-19 test cartridges where we have glass fiber to separate DNA, and where we have also quartz fiber papers which are paper resistant, fire resistant up to 900 degrees Celsius. So there's a lot of 3 business units basically, and digital photography or fine art, the reason why we're here at WPPI is one of them. Amazing. And the youngest one, actually.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm good, thank you. I'm Simon Waller, the General Manager for Hahnemühle USA. Well, the ultimate goal for us coming to any of the shows, including WPPI, is to showcase our products, get customers, photographers, printers to touch, feel the paper, and to get that haptic which you can't get from a video. Yeah, we've had so many people coming through for the whole 3 days, plus we had 2 earlier days before WPPI at Portrait Masters, where we were dealing directly with the photographers, and they've all loved the new papers, the 4 new papers, and continue to purchase through all of the registered vendors. Yeah, so any photographer can go online to their preferred dealer, whether it's B&H, Adorama, IT Supplies, Freestyle. They're just to name a few of all of the companies which they can go through. Well, ultimately, what we want to do is to get some Hahnemühle paper into everybody's hands. We know we're a premium product. We have a premium price, which goes for everything, so we know we're not going to be the go-to for every single sheet of paper. But if we can be the go-to for the majority, that's our ultimate goal. If someone needs help, the first thing I would do is to download the Hahnemühle app. There are so many videos, how-to links, questions, answers on there. There's a direct contact link if they need to get any further advice from anyone at Hahnemühle, whether it's within your own country or whether it's directly from Hahnemühle GmbH, Hahnemühle Germany. That will be my first port of call. Second port of call is to speak to your retailer. All of your retailers have been trained to deal with our papers and to be able to deal with all of the printers that they're compatible with.
I'm doing well. I am Veronica Cotter with Hahnemühle USA, and I am the Western Region Manager based in Los Angeles, California. Of course I do. They make the best fine art photo papers for digital fine art printing, and it has an exquisite reputation and legacy, 440 years of continuous paper making, the whole focus on sustainability, the fact that 5% of the proceeds from the natural line go to fund environmental initiatives, I think is very important. The fact that the mill is totally off the grid, I find extremely impressive, and I think more and more people want to know who they're doing business with, and we have a compelling story. Everyone that's stopped by either has used Hahnemühle, uses Hahnemühle for their personal projects. They're either printing themselves or they're working with one of the many certified studios that feature Hahnemühle papers. And actually people have come over and said, you know, I've heard about your papers, I need to know more about them. So it's been good for us to share the whole ranges of papers, what the characteristics are, and educate them on what's a warmer tone paper, what does a paper with texture look like, how does that impact and influence the image. So it's a lot of good conversations the past few days. I have a growing list of favorite papers. I think PhotoRag and PhotoRag Baryta are my 2 favorites, although I am very fond of the PhotoRag Metallic because I think it does an exceptional job with color and black and white. Although all the papers do really well with color and black and white. I love the torsion. I love the way the texture really creates a beautiful border or mat for the image. The more fine art Baryta satin because I like warmer tone papers. And I love the natural line. I love the fact they're warmer tone papers, and I love the whole backstory to that particular range. I think we're focusing more on sustainability. I think we want to get that message out because, as I said earlier, I think people really want to know who they're doing business with. And the fact that we make paper, the fact that we develop the coatings for the paper, results in a high degree of consistency, which people respect. And it's why you talk to people that have been using the paper for 10 years, 15, 20 years. So I think it's just that focus on creating a range of high quality papers. And we're also looking at, we have HP certified papers for indigo presses. So, if it involves paper, it's something we're interested in. Well, the Hahnemühle app has really a lot of good information, frequently asked questions, topics of interest. Those of us that are out in the field, I'm out on the West Coast, my colleague Kevin is on the East Coast, and Simon Waller covers the Central region. And we're a small group. Travis McConaughey helps with tech issues. So really we're all, you know, part of a group that is, we just step in and help when we can.
I'm Kevin Graham. I'm the sales manager for Hahnemühle on the East Coast in Canada. Well, over the past 10 years, they've changed. I think that photographers nowadays want to print. And if they're not printing, they're talking about getting ready to print. And that's been a big change over the last 10 years. They don't need to print everything, but they need to print something. Because as you and I know, it's not a photograph till you print it, period. So print something, right? Two avenues, they can reach out to us directly or they can contact their local camera dealer. Generally, there's an expert on the floor who understands printing and paper, ICC profiles, and has broader knowledge than they'll probably ever have, but they need a go-to person all the time. Well, there's always online capabilities. You can Google anything in the world nowadays. You can go on YouTube and find out answers. You can look up Jabari and he'll come over to your house probably and help you out. So there's lots of answers available. And even to call us, we're happy to guide you through on the phone. It's an easy process nowadays, it really is. Don't make it complicated and don't be scared.
My name is Travis McConaughey. I'm the Technical Marketing and Support Manager for North America at Hahnemühle USA. I feel that the biggest thing besides like the basics on how to actually print the stuff is to help people with paper choice. There's different surfaces of paper and different images will be better on just certain types of surfaces. Like they'll look good, the same image will look good on, you know, a bunch of different papers, but there's always one that'll just make it pop extra special, and it's to help people choose which one will be good for their images with their perspective and their artistic taste. I think that's the most useful thing that I can relay to people is just play around, get what you really like, because you'll find something that'll pop. And I think that's the best thing to do is do that. Yeah, we do have a Hahnemühle app that you can download. It's for iPhone and Google. Android, sorry. We don't have those here, sorry. It's for iOS and Android operating system. You can download that and you can register, and it has answers to thousands of questions. And if you can't find the answer there, it does have a direct way that you can get in touch with us to be able to answer that question for you. Well, that's a really good question. I would have to say overall William Turner is my favorite paper. Just because it's the most unique paper that exists in my opinion, and so many things look good on it. The second favorite paper is probably our Photorag Metallic, just because you can print anything on it even though it's metallic and it looks great. And then number three is the hemp paper. It's been a long time coming for that, and it's a sustainable paper and it's prints fantastic with everything. Yeah, printing is growing exponentially, really, over the last years. And I think in the past, that when things went from analog to digital, digital was all the rage, and now it's moving back to a mixture of both now. And people use all the digital stuff, but then they'll output it, because if you don't output it, it's not really an image. And they like the tactile feel and look, and you can make it look all kinds of different ways on various papers from output, and I think it's gonna grow even more over the coming years. As far as where Hahnemühle is gonna go, we're gonna keep expanding, and especially with our sustainable and natural lines of papers, just to make it less of a carbon footprint on the world and give people something they can use that's sustainable and 100% recyclable, and they can feel good about outputting their images on. This is a Rockford Ice Hogs jersey. They are the AHL affiliate of the Chicago Blackhawks, and we've just become partners with them to be able to pull sports and art together. And in the coming months and for opening season next year, we're going to have a large art wall exhibit in their stadium along with in their suites and their lounge for their suites on Hahnemühle paper, and there's going to be a lot of great sports images on there, on our papers, that everybody will be able to see. And we're looking forward to the partnership. It's going to be really a fun project.
My name is Eveline, or Eveline as we say in Germany, and I'm the global team lead for the whole segment of the digital papers. It was very insightful because the US market and the US photographers are so different from what I know from Europe. but it was a really, really fun experience so far. My dream would be that every single photographer in this world knows Hahnemühle and is printing on it. I mean, that's a big goal, but I would love it if anywhere in universities where we have all the young students learning about photography, printing, editing, that they also get a chance to experience the power of print with Hahnemühle papers. So we're starting there and then keep on innovating, keep on getting better and just creating a fun tool for photographers to widen their artistic possibilities. So if you're not going to any trade shows like WPPI, what you can always do is go to our app, which we recently just upgraded to our Pro app. Then we have a lot of FAQs, we have a lot of step-by-step guides. So this is, I think, the first step you can do if you're not going to a trade show. But what you could also, I think, always do is contact just photographers which you know use Hahnemühle, or contact maybe even one of our certified studios, because they know our papers, they know our brand, they know what Hahnemühle does. So I think there's variations. Trade shows, app if you want to stay at home, or if you really want to go out and learn even more, the certified studios of photographers out there. That we care a lot about them, more than it's sometimes possible to show, because there are a lot of creative and artistic people out there, and that we always have an open ear. So whenever you find something that is not really working for you, or if you have ideas on how we can make our papers better, or if you even have an idea for a new paper, you will always welcome, we always listen to you, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to many, many years of crazy new ideas and papers.
Thank you. My name is Nico. I'm from Germany, from our headquarters, and I'm responsible for the whole communication of our beautiful digital fine art papers. The US market is more creative, more open. They have a different style of capturing people, animals, landscapes and everything. So in Europe and in other parts of the world, they are more like be a little bit down and cool with everything, and in America they want colors and different shot angles, so yeah, it's different but cool. I think we're gonna introduce more sustainable papers, more papers that are made out of different raw materials, because we have sugarcane, bamboo, hemp, or maybe we also go with other crazy fruits or other plants, so let's see what the future brings. Or maybe we have a metallic paper, maybe we also bring out a golden paper also. Just try it out, you can't do anything wrong. Maybe you start with our photo line, it's a little easier to handle, just to make some test prints. Look, okay, what you like. If you like, do you like a glossy paper, shimmery paper, or textured paper, or maybe the smooth paper? So everyone has something in mind what the image should look like printed. So just try it out, use our sample packs, and then you can't do anything wrong. Or if you have any questions or something else you want to talk about, then just text us on social media or get in contact with our colleagues.